everyone, it's Gwen from Hummingbird Tarot, and today I'm doing another video in my series RWS Versus, and we're looking at the Hanson Roberts Tarot against the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck, and the version we're looking at is the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot. This is a deck that's in a tin, and I chose this one because it's smaller and it matches the size of the Hanson Roberts Tarot. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you're notified every week when I upload a new video. And both of these, you can see this is your typical deck size that's in a tin, and the Hanson Roberts Tarot is a little bit bigger than the one that's in the tin. However, it's still significantly smaller. This is the Everyday Witch Tarot deck, and this is your standard tarot size. It's still, the Hanson Roberts version is significantly smaller than your standard tarot deck. So the cardstock for this deck, for the Hanson Roberts deck, is a US Games cardstock, and it's exactly the same, feels exactly the same as the Radiant Rider-Waite. This deck does sit a little bit higher than the US Games version, so it might be just a tiny bit thicker, but I mean, we're talking like a hair's difference here. So it feels very much like a poker deck of cards. So this comes in your typical tuck box. This is this little white book that came with it. Nothing special here. The same thing came in the Radiant Rider-Waite deck. So in the Rider-Waite-Smith Versus series, I take a look at a typical Rider-Waite-Smith traditional images, and I compare it against a deck that is based on Rider-Waite-Smith or similar to Rider-Waite-Smith. Some of them that I go over because they're requested are not based on a Rider-Waite-Smith or a clone, but we're still looking at them compared to that deck. But anyways, we take a look at that. This is something that I like to do when I first get a new deck of cards, and I just go through and compare the images one by one to a typical Rider-Waite-Smith deck. This Hanson Roberts Tarot, I am absolutely in love with the size of it. It had been on my radar for a little while, and I didn't realize that it was this small. So it wasn't until I realized that this is the size of it that it was something that I was serious about getting. So let's go ahead and take a look at the images. I'll set these off to the side. So you can see this is what the back of the cardstock looks like, and I love the Hanson Roberts. The colors there are very vibrant. I want to look at one more thing with the Hanson Roberts and what year. This is an older deck. It's been out for a while. And it looks like it was originally published in 1985. And this is the first time that I'm sitting down also and taking a look at these images. So they look almost like it's a black pen outline with colored pencil coloring in the images. So there's the full. It's very similar so far. And the Hanson Roberts deck version that I have has several different languages. I'm looking at, it looks like French and German, Spanish, and maybe Italian, and then English, obviously, as well. So it looks like the images are a little bit different, but they're similar enough that, so far anyways, somebody who knows the traditional images, is familiar with those, can read this very easily. I'm in love with the back of this. And just a disclaimer, I do put clothes on my Nudity in decks just so that I don't have to rank my videos as adult only. I've got a younger crowd. And I do have a video that goes through some of the reasons why I do that and how I do it too, what the technique is and the tools that I use to do that, if any of you are interested in that. I'll put a link to that in the video. And then, as always, in all of my videos, any resources that I review, any decks or any other information that I review, I will put a link to that information in the comments. I'm sorry, in the description of the video. These look more like Sphinx. Okay, there's got to be a couple other. Oh no, just the 5 languages plus English. That's very creepy looking. And he's on fire. Oh, that's the thing that he's holding is on fire. This is definitely a Rider-Waite-Smith clone. I have to say too, while we're going through this, that the Radiant Rider-Waite is one of my favorite versions of the Rider-Waite-Smith traditional images. I love how vibrant the colors are. I think it just adds another energy to the deck that wasn't there before. More close. So that's the bud of a flower at the end of the wand. I know I'm going through this a little more slowly than I normally do, but as I said, I haven't done this yet. I just got this deck, so I'm enjoying looking through here. And he's calling to someone. I'm getting kind of annoyed with the different languages here, having so many on the same card. It's almost graffiti-ish to me. I do really like the images. If I could do it without messing up the deck, I'd cover that up somehow, but I'm not sure that that would be doable. Oh, she looks way more intimidating than our gentle Queen of Swords. I'm glad I bought this deck though, have to say. I'm really enjoying it. There you go. I hope you enjoyed this. If you love this deck, hate it, have any comments about it, feel free to go ahead and leave me a note below. If you have any requests for anything or anything else you want to comment on, I'd love to hear from you. And I hope this was helpful in comparing the two decks there. I always get something out of it and just thought it'd be interesting to share. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next time around.